This is my Canyon Grizl, a gravel bike built for long miles, rough trails, and anything in between. Lately, I've been pushing it harder and faster on rougher terrain, and I've noticed something that's giving me a bit of anxiety. It has to do with the chain and the one-by drivetrain. Unfortunately, the chain doesn't always stay where it should. I luckily haven't had any problems with drop chains yet, but I don't want it to happen. I've seen what could go wrong and how it could look like. And yeah, to be honest, it's giving me a bit of anxiety and I don't want to ruin my beautiful carbon fiber frame. So I've looked into solutions. This is a chain guide by Wolftooth. It's designed to be installed where your front derailleur should be. And it basically keeps the chain from bouncing and slipping off the main chain ring in the front. And this is actually what the pros are using. The Visma. Yeah, that Visma from the Tour de France, they're actually sponsored by, the entire team is sponsored by Wolftooth. And I've seen them being, run on their actual bikes on the tour. So this is a certified Tour de France product and I'm hoping that it should work. I mean, if the pros are using it, in theory, it should work. There's just one slight problem with the specific chain guide. So I've purchased the Aero version of the chain guide just purely because I think it looks better. They do have a universal one that should fit my Canyon Grizl. But the Aero version, it's technically not designed for the Canyon Grizl. So the unknown part is, and what we're going to be figuring out today is, does the Wolftooth Aero chainring with the low position, would that actually fit the Canyon Grizl? So it looks like to me this is CNC aluminum. Should be lightweight but strong enough. There's the parts, that's the main chain guide. And we have the hardware that comes with it and a little dust cap that goes over the bolts. All right, let's just tear the scale, make sure it's zeroed out. So the main chain guide without any of the hardware, 27 grams. Just put the hardware as well. So just over 30 grams, 31 grams. Okay, so this is where the chain guide needs to be installed in this area exactly, and it will swoop down and meet the chain somewhere around there. There is tolerances of around 2 millimeters. So of course it shouldn't be touching the chain ring or anything in there. So it's just meant to prevent the chain from bouncing as it goes like this. So as you can see, there's some slack, so it gets slacker, then it tightens up. And when you're riding around rough gravel, rough terrain, and you're bouncing, this chain is bouncing. So there is the possibility of the chain slipping on the inside. And of course, if that happens, it will completely scratch your frame right around the bottom bracket area just because it protrudes out a little bit. And there's even the chance of, if the impact is hard enough, it could crack your carbon fiber frame. And this is, basically a nightmare for me, and it's giving me anxiety. So that's why I decided to, get the chain guide. So it does install in this area. So what we're going to find out, does the Aero version extend down long enough and in the correct position to actually be effective? And is there enough space or enough tolerance for it to work correctly? So this should be clean enough. I just used some cotton Q-tips, just to clean it out a little bit, just because there's probably like dust. There was a bit of dust, but so let's do a quick mock and see. Wow, would you look at that? Not gonna get too excited yet. It does seem like it's close. It does get down low enough. So the thing that I was worried about is, so this entire seat tube isn't completely flat. So where the front derailleur mounts, it is flat, but as soon as you go down a little bit further, you can see there is like something here, and then the tube isn't completely flat anymore. So given this needs to mount to a flat surface, I wasn't sure if this will go down enough and still be on that flat surface, but it seems like it does, at least on first glance. And the other thing is, so this part here, the plastic piece, so you can unscrew this bolt and it does move. You can like adjust it so the tolerances are correct. But it does seem like it's gonna work. Let's see, let me get a few Allen keys and see if we can just install it. So I do want to show you guys the tolerances and the exact position where I've mounted it. So there's about 2 millimeters of space between the chain and here the bottom part of the chain guide. And as you can see, this is slightly angled, but that is intended because the chain moves. So as you go on the lower gears or upper gears, depending on how you're looking at it, so the larger chain rings in your cassette, the chain will move out slightly. So as you can see here, I'm on the lower gears, which the chain is kind of pointing in this direction. So there needs to be a little bit of more tolerance here in the back. So that's why it's angled, so the chain can freely go up and down the cassette without interfering with this part. But the important bit is that there isn't too much space for it to kind of hop off. And in the front, there's about 2 millimeters, and on the top as well. So here's a slightly different angle from the front. I'm not sure if this is too close. I can maybe raise it just a little bit. But as you can see, the tolerances, I'll try to sneak the camera in here. Let's see if we can do that. So on this part, there is also about 2 millimeters there in the front. So technically, this part is quite stationary, so it's not gonna move. It's not gonna move too much. The front, I mean. So the important bit is in the back and the tolerance there, and having enough clearance here for the chain to move freely, but not enough space for it to hop off and fall in between the frame and the sprocket here. So I do want to quickly test and just make sure that when I go through the gears, there is no rubbing or anything happening with the chain and the chain guide. So let's see if we can go up a few gears and see how that's gonna work. All right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any rubbing, so it seems like that's pretty good. Ready to go. I'm super happy I took the gamble with the Aero Chainguide. I'm so relieved that it actually works because it's not the cheapest thing out there. It was around, I think I paid 60 euros. So for, just a piece of aluminum, it is quite expensive in my opinion, but it does look nice. It's way better looking than the universal one. I really didn't want to get the universal one. I would have probably eventually went with it or looked for other solutions, other brands. I really do like the Wolftooth one. So I'm super happy the Aero one worked. I know that the Aero there won't be any gains. It's a gravel bike. It's not a road bike that's fully optimized for aero, of course. But yeah, I don't really care about that, as long as, in my opinion, looks good. That's fine. I just want to have a clean looking bike. The universal one really kind of protrudes out, and then you still have the original derailleur hanger, and then it clamps onto that, and it just looks, yeah, not as appealing in my opinion. So I'm super happy this one worked, and fingers crossed, I hope it does its job and I don't get any dropped chains. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. If you like videos like this, and if you want to follow me on my gravel cycling journey, anything about training, yeah, races that I'll be doing, any upgrades to my Canyon Grizl, I'll be creating content around that. So if you enjoyed this content and this little educational video about the Wolftooth Aero Chainguide, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.